But the Bible says that they arrayed themselves for battle against the Philistines. When you would see the army of Saul, you would think to mighty men of valor. You would think to yourself, these are mighty men of strength, mighty men of bravery. There are some people that look like they can fight Goliath, but they don't know how to fight Goliath. There are some people which when you step into their homes, they look like they are fighters, but they're not fighters. Yeah. They look like they have the capacity to do the job, but they don't have the capacity to do the job. No wonder you look at your parents sometimes and you say, why couldn't they fight for me? Why couldn't they fight for our family? Why couldn't they fight this battle for us? Some people are just not anointed for the fight. I want someone to forgive somebody this morning. Some people are just not graced for it. Some people are not anointed for it. Some people are not called for it. Some people don't know when to get offended when Goliath is speaking ill of their God. They don't have it inside of them. I know they look like they have the body for it. I know they look like they are well armored for it. Hello, somebody. I know they look like they have the right ammunition and clothes for it. But some people just are not graced and anointed for fighting certain things. And I'm sent an assignment. I don't know why, but this morning, today, the Lord wanted to encourage somebody that has caught the burden for their family. You caught the burden for your family and you're not even a man. Some of you are women and you're doing things that man siblings, man children are supposed to be doing for the family. They said this is the job of a son. But here you are a woman and you are contending and fighting battles that are bigger than you. Fighting bigger battles that are bigger than your gender. When people come to your family home that you are building, they say to your mother, you have sons, you have amazing sons. And now your mother has to tell them, no, listen, this is my girl. You remember the one that's in the United Kingdom. You remember the one that went to Dubai. They think you work a fancy job in the place where you are working. No, you are just doing the best to break the generational curse of poverty from your family. You are doing the best you can to change the narrative of your family. You are just pushing the best you can because God gave you the burden. That's right. Somebody in the comment section says, outside people even call me the head of the family. Some of you are daughters, but the kind of work you are doing in your family, it's like you are the sons. The sons are busy drinking. The sons are busy exploring the world. The sons are prodigal. The sons don't even turn their heads to take care of your father and your mother. You are the one that's been doing the heavy lifting. I'm sent an assignment to encourage somebody that the Lord gave you this burden for a reason. Because when you see Saul's army arrayed in battle, arrayed for battle against the Philistines, you think they are capable. You think they've caught the burden. You think they will be able to do the job. But the Bible says, you're going to find out that the Bible says for the next 40 days, every single one of these soldiers would go to battle, would wake up in the morning, get ready, go to battle, and yet not a single one of them was able to fight Goliath. So my Bible tells me, Saul and the men of Israel, verse 2, assembled and camped in the valley of Elah, arraying themselves for battle against the Philistines. Verse 3 says, the Philistines stood on one hill and the Israelites stood on another hill with the valley in between them. So I want you to imagine two hills and there is a valley in between. And whoever was meant to fight Goliath had to step into the ring. Whoever was fighting and contending with Goliath had to step into the ring. It was a one-man on one-man show. The army said, we are not going to cause our armies to fight each other. We are not going to go through the heavy lifting of having both armies fight each other. We just need one capable man and we need another capable man from the other army and they are going to contend. Prayer governors, I'm sent on a that there's certain battles which are one-man on one-man show. I know you think to yourself, this should have taken a full bouquet of siblings. I know you're saying to yourself, it would have been easier if everybody just held hands together. It would have been easier if the whole army came together in the valley and fought the battle. It would have been easier if someone was helping me fight this generational curse. It would have been easier if everybody else was just going to church and everybody else was fighting against this altar. But I'm sent an assignment today to tell somebody that God said, you caught the burden for this thing on your own for a reason. Prayer governors, do you know that there's some times when God will orchestrate a certain environment in battle just so you can get an opportunity to be visible? Just so you can get an opportunity for soul to see you. Just so you can get an opportunity to be rewarded. Just so you can get an opportunity for the influential man who can change a person's life to see you and reward you and honor you. Some of you, God has been setting you up for the throne. Some of you in the workplace, you have been fighting and contending certain cultural battles. You look at this thing and you say, why didn't the previous manager change this culture? Some of you have been looking and saying, why didn't the previous manager change these toxic systems? Some of you have been watching and saying, why doesn't someone help me to change this? There are times, prayer governors, when God will orchestrate an environment where your value will be visible, where what you carry will be visible. God will use these platforms to announce you. God will use these platforms for people to be able to see you, observe what you carry, and honor you for it. Yeah. One man on one man show. So the Bible says the Philistines stood on one hill and the Israelites stood on another. This is verse 3, with the valley in between them. The Bible says in verse 4, then a champion called Goliath, who was from Gath, came out from the Philistines' camp. He was 6 cubits and a span height. I don't know if I'm talking to somebody that's been fighting a Goliath in this season. Verse 5 says, and he had a bronze helmet on his head. He wore a bronze coat of mail weighing 5,000 shekels. He had armor of bronze on his legs. He had a javelin of bronze slung between his shoulders. Verse 7 says, the shaft of his spear was like a weaver beam, and its iron point weighed 600 shekels. In addition, his shield barrier went before him. This is a man who is heavily armored. This is the man with all the arsenal in the world. I'm talking about the best arsenal in the world. This is the man with the best ammunition that you could ever possibly think of. Prayer governors, there are some of you who are facing Goliaths who have military backing. There are some of you who are facing Goliath with a kind of Goliath with experience. You look at this family generational issue and you say to yourself, how can one man combat this issue? How can one man win over this ordeal? How can one man fight this poverty until it is finished? How can one man contend over this polygamous spirit? How can I as one man fight this generational lust and contend over it? How can one man fight over this alcoholism and contend and battle over it? It is protected from the front to the back, from the left to the right. It has all the right ammunition. You look at this machinery of wickedness and you say to yourself, do I even have it inside of me to contend over this thing?